Welcome to 1000 PS, welcome to absolutely beautiful and stunning Austria, and welcome to a little shootout between the new Honda Hornet SP and the new Kawasaki Z900 SE. So both models have a basic version, but what we've gone for is the more exclusive, more expensive version. So on the SE, we get the Brembo brakes rather than the Nissan. We get the fully adjustable forks. We get the different colours. We get the Öhlins rear shock with the easy access remote preload. And when we move over to the Honda SP, we get the Brembo brakes. We get 5 more horsepower. We get an additional rider mode, and it's only available in this jet black rather than any other colours. And if you're really old, it looks a little bit like old Lotus kind of colours. In terms of price, it's really interesting because the bigger, more powerful Honda is actually cheaper. So that is just over 10,000. The SE in the UK is 11,345. So let's just call it 11,400 for there or thereabouts. In terms of who's got the most power and who's got the most torque, that goes to the Honda, because that's got the 2017 derived Fireblade engine, but the Kawasaki, new for this year, has got an IMU and ride-by-wire fueling. So that means we've got completely new switchgear, we've got new clocks, we've got an IMU, which means we've got lean sensitive traction control, we've got lean sensitive ABS, as opposed to the Honda, which doesn't have an IMU. That's just got standard traction control and standard ABS. In terms of braking, they've both got Brembo calipers, but the specification of the Brembo brakes on the Honda are a little bit higher because they're the Stylemas. In terms of how they feel and how they ride, they feel pretty similar on weight, but the Honda has definitely got the legs, the more power and the more torque. It's a bigger engine. That's the old Fireblade engine, and this isn't actually 900, it's 948cc, but Kawasaki Z948cc doesn't sound as good as Z900, does it? But the Kawasaki carries on a tradition that Kawasaki have always had with their muscle bikes. It's kind of weighty, it's very planted, it's very solid, it's very forgiving, it's very stable, gives you a lot of confidence. But it's kind of strange in that the tank kind of comes up at you and over, and the bars are quite narrow, which reminds me more of the smaller capacity Kawasaki's. And I think Kawasaki have done that deliberately. So when you're moving from the lower capacity Kawasaki's to this bike, it feels familiar. Whereas the Honda, even though they're both inline 4-cylinder bikes, the Honda is much wider. This section feels much wider. The bars are much wider. That feels like 1,000, where this feels like a 750 or a 650 with a big engine in it. I hope that makes sense. The Honda steers a little lighter. The Honda steers a little bit more lively. We've made it absolutely crystal by fitting both bikes with exactly the same tyres, so we can't make allowances or excuses for tyres. They're both fitted with the new Bridgestone S23s. But the Honda is more lively, it wants to steer, it's a little lighter, it gives a little bit more feedback, it feels a little bit sportier. That doesn't translate to instability, but the Kawasaki does feel absolutely solid and absolutely true. What was also interesting on the little motorway stint that we did is that the Kawasaki comes with cruise control as standard, where the Honda doesn't. The Kawasaki's got more rider modes and more gadgets and lean sensitive traction and lean sensitive ABS. You can play with it, and even with the traction on you can still pull little wheelies, and the traction control is really smooth when it intervenes and when it comes back in. Where the Honda is relatively basic compared to the Kawasaki in terms of electronics, and when the traction kicks in, it kicks in quite hard and the re-intervention is quite slow. But the Honda is just over 10,000 and the Kawasaki is 11,400, so there's about £1,400 difference, and I guess that's where you're spending your money on the electronics. So I think you've kind of got two decisions. Do you want to go with a more expensive Kawasaki with better rider aids and a real solid feeling and this distinctive Kawasaki look? Remove the badges, that's always going to be a Kawasaki. Or do you go with a cheaper, livelier, gruntier, more fun Honda, but you miss the rider aids and the sophistication? For me, personally, I'd go with a Honda. I'd save my money, buy some riding kit, pay for my insurance and enjoy the bike. Maybe a couple of track days, and it wouldn't be out of place on track. It sounds great, it sounds raucous, the quick shifter works really well, and I just think it's got some character and some soul. The Kawasaki, big improvement over the previous bike. I can see why people like it. Really, really good rider aids, but for me, that price difference is too much. If both bikes were the same price, the outcome might be slightly different, but I can't honestly justify the Kawasaki being £1,400 more than the Honda. Hope you enjoyed our little rendezvous around Austria. The roads here are absolutely epic. Thanks to Bridgestone for supplying some tyres. If you want any more technical questions, seat height, weight and everything, you know what to do. Fire some questions and one of the team will get back to you, because I'm going to go on holiday. See you on the next one.